So an expose in the New York Times exposes banking, racism in banking, racial bias in banking. And to be clear, racial biases or prejudices or racism systematically has permeated virtually every element of our society. It has always been there, and elements to tentatively root it out have been unsuccessful to the point where it's impacting people's lives. Just black people having homes, those homes were just devalued because black people live in. This whole thing about, when regentrification is black people getting enough money to move out, white people getting enough money to move in, and Starbucks and viable grocery stores and entertainment come back with them. Even though the structure hasn't changed, the houses hasn't changed. So we know that biases permeate every aspect of our society. We know that they're in the medical profession, where black women, when they're having babies, die at a higher rate, even though they don't get breast cancer as high a rate as white women do. They die and have health problems associated with that more disproportionately. We know that they believe that we have a tolerance for pain. Matter of fact, because of racial biases in the medical profession, that is why the opiate crisis didn't hit us. You can tell that the opiate crisis didn't hit us because it's greeted with compassion. That they're coming out with alternatives. But because there are racial biases in the medical profession, we are not ODing in bathrooms. But this, the article about banking describes the plight of an NFL player. He had made $13 million over 9 years, and he wanted to deposit he wanted to put his money with an investment with an investment group at J.P. Morgan. And he wanted to be given, the cream of the crop status. When you give more than $250,000, you're supposed to be given a status that affords you all kinds of accoutrements, all kinds of perks. He was denied that just because he was black. When people talk about reverse racism, it isn't about the names they call you. There's never a system that has been designed so that it would affect other people. There's never been a system that, when we're talking about reparations, it's ironic that people would poo-poo reparations, because reparations were given out. They were given out to the Italians, they were given out to the Japanese, and they were also given out to slave owners. Slave owners lost their money and they got reparations. So everybody, when it comes to us, there is a way that people look at things. And when people talk about, reverse racism, that would mean that we had to reverse the system that now was meted against us to pit it against them. And that's never happened. Racial biases and the things that black people and brown people have to deal with permeate every aspect of our society. Racism is not just about the foul things you say to each other. Racism is not somebody disrespecting you or saying something mean or having the police follow you. The most insidious aspects of racism are one that stop you from leading your best life, from leading your fullest life, that take things away from you, be it money or your health or your peace of mind. The most racist word in America right now, is an N-word, and it ain't. It's no. No, you can't have that loan. No, you can't live here. No, you can't have what you need to get by. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.